Hey everyone, welcome to Encore, and today we're going to talk about hot pots. Hey everyone, welcome back. So recently I was watching Coastal Scent's new video, and they were featuring their new products of the month. And I was watching it and I just went, oh my gosh, I need to get those. And they featured double stack palettes, which I'm going to do a video on because I think it's definitely ideal for you guys who are aspiring makeup artists, because it's double stacked and you can put one of the stacks on the lid and you can hold it like an artist palette. And it's definitely ideal for those of you guys who are aspiring makeup artists that are on a budget. And all of us are on a budget these days with the economy and all that. Every single penny that you can save counts, right? So one of the items, actually there are 66 of them, that they mentioned are the hot pots, and they're individual eyeshadows, much like this. This is a hot pot from Coastal Scents, and it's 26 millimeter, which is the same size as MAC, and they fit the MAC palettes. Now, one thing that I'm going to tell you guys is that they don't have magnets in the back, and they don't have colors either. They're only color coded, or I mean number coded, that has a letter, actually. So it's alphanumeric coding, and the alpha part, which is the letter part, is S, M, or B. Now the S's means they're satin or shimmer finish. The M's, of course, they're mattes. And then the B's are actually blushes, and there are only 5 colors in the B line. So instead of swatching them today for you guys, because I know there are so many other gurus here on YouTube that's going to be swatching them, I'm just going to go over my likes about them and also give you guys the comparables. I spent half the day comparing them to my MAC colors, and I found the closest that I can find that's comparable to these colors, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. Okay, so a couple more things that I like is, aside from they fit the MAC palette, which I'm going to demonstrate to you guys. Here's my empty MAC palette. Okay, and then you just put one of the hot pots right into the hole, and it fits perfectly right into the palettes. Okay, and like I said, you're going to find a way to put magnets on the back if you are going to use the MAC palettes, because these hot pots are not going to stick to the MAC palettes, okay, without the magnets. Now you can also get empty palettes from various different sources. And of course, Coastal Scents sells the 15 well empty palettes as well as the 12, which is the new one. They have a 12 well palette, and of course they also have the 4 well empty palettes. So you can definitely check those out. So I'm going to start with the mattes, okay, and then give you guys the comparable color to MAC. So starting with M01. M01 is kind of like a dirty white color. It's almost like an eggshell color, and I did not find anything comparable to MAC. I thought it's going to be like gesso, but it's not. It's actually darker than gesso, so it's just kind of like an off-white, alright, color. And then the next color, the M02, is a beautiful green. Here you go. Alright, and the closest comparable I found is my Kelly, and Kelly is a pro color. So that's MAC Kelly. The third one is another green. This is the M03, and it's kind of like a lime green color. Here you go. Okay, and the closest comparable is the Pro Lime. This is MAC Pro Lime. Okay, moving on to the next color. There's a lot, so I'm going to try to do this as quickly as I can, so bear with me. The next one is the M04. Here it is. And the closest to this is bamboo. Okay, so it's kind of like a golden undertone, like a peachy golden undertone. So the closest to that is bamboo. The next color is the MO5, sorry, and it's another green. And the closest one to that is MAC's Meadow. Now Meadow doesn't exist anymore, but it's so, like, it's almost identical. So this is Meadow from MAC, and this is MO5. Okay, moving on to our next color, and this one's kind of like a brown color. It's really, really pretty and vivid if you guys like brown. And of course, it's the MO6. And the closest to that is from Matte Squared, and this is signed sealed. Look at that, it's almost identical. Alright, next one is the MO7. The MO7 is comparable to soft brown. The next one is MO8. Okay, and MO8, the closest to this is plum dressing. Moving on to our next one. This is the MO9, and the closest to this, guys, vanilla. Okay, and then of course the M10. And the M10 is Samoa Silk, would be your comparable. Samoa Silk. Okay, let's go to 11. Okay, and the closest to this one is Fontainebleau. And here's M12. And the closest to that is another Pro color, and this is Aqua. This is Aqua and M12. Okay, moving down the line here, this is M13. And M13, the closest is Melton Mauve. Let's go to M14. And M14, the closest to this is Saddle. And here's M15. And the closest to this is Jewel Tone. So this is, sorry, this is Cobalt. Cobalt and M15. So MAC Cobalt, again, is a Pro product. So a lot of Pro colors. So if you guys don't have access to the Pro colors, this would be your best thing, your next best thing. Okay, moving on to M16. M16. Okay, and then M16 is Charcoal Brown. Alright, and then M17, here it is. And the closest to this is Meet the Fleet. So here's Meet the Fleet, M17. It's just a little bit more intense, but it's really, really close once you swatch it. Alright, going on to M18. M18 is a hot pink. And M18 actually is exactly like the Azalea Pro blush color. Okay, there's a blush in the Pro line called Azalea, and it's exactly like this. Okay, next we're going to go on to our M19. Now this is the whitest white, okay, and this is the one that's comparable to Gesso. So this is MAC Gesso, and that's M19. Okay, so moving on to M20. And M20 is Brulee. M21. M21 is close to Haux, H-A-U-X. Some of you probably pronounce this as hoax, that's Haux. And I actually have Haux in here, and I accidentally cracked it. So there it is. This is Ho, and this is M21. Okay, you're going to see that again in the shimmer version. So let's move on to M22. And M22 actually is really close to a couple of colors. It's close to Handwritten, and this is from the Matte Squared collection. And it's also close to Dark Edge eyeshadow. Okay, so let's put that together. Here it is. Let's see if I can hold the Handwritten next to that. There you go. Alright, so that's the M22. Alright, and then the last color in the matte series is, of course, the M23. And here it is. And the M23 is so identical, guys, to Typographic from the Matte Squared collection. Okay, so those are the M, or the matte series. There are 23 colors. So now we're going to move on to our satin and shimmers.